All right, I am back. It is the demigod, also known as Paris, and I'm playing Can't Buy Me Love. Man, this goddamn game, quite the experience. But, I really want George, and I said that I was going to get George because I want to dance with George. But, yeah, that's the goal. Although, I'm not a VN connoisseur, so I will definitely end up. It's intuition, okay? I'm sorry. I'm like I'm just gonna have to be an intuitive player and you're just gonna have to rock with me, and whatever goddamn ending that we get, it's gonna be the title. You'll know by then. So let's get into it. So I'm pretty sure that I'm currently at the part where we are supposed to make a decision when we're in the crate. If you don't remember, we were in the crate. Stockholm syndrome down. So what am I gonna choose? I'm gonna say you're right. This sucks because I learned from the creator that if you're nice to Paul, you get the good Paul ending, and that's not what we came here for. I want George. The goal is to get George. Please, please, please. You blushed, flustered all of a sudden. His words, they were so impassioned. It was crazy to think, but maybe you were worth of same rights as any other Englishman or woman. But of course, this made sense coming from him. Unlike both Lennon and McCartney, George Harrison had a human soul. He was capable of empathy, compassion, and even love, romantic or otherwise. You're right. This sucks. You blushed, toying with your soft feminine head hair. Also, we played this part, so girl, I don't know. We just gonna have to see. Okay. You you think I'm pretty? George blushed. His face. He looked like a house cat. You liked that. None of the Beatles had a cat in the house because of a variety of reasons. And then we go into the lore. Primarily being blacklisted from all the British animal shelters due to their smash hit It's Okay to Leave Your Dog in a Hot Car. George looked bashful to the side. He was smiling. And what formidable teeth, too. Hey, baby. Yes? Would you like a jelly, baby? You got a splitting pain in your forehead, but it just as quickly passed. You smiled and nodded. Through the gaps of the crate, George pushed in a single piece of candy. You caught it. Ta very much. Well, I'll, see you around, then. Suddenly, I don't know why that was giving, Scotland for some reason. I had a little... Suddenly nervous, George looked over his shoulder. Best not have Paul see me talking to you. He'll start breaking the mirrors. He got up and scurried out of the room, but not without a parting smile and stilted wave. What a charming fellow. Bye, George. I like George. The jelly baby tasted awful, too chewy and a terrible aftertaste. You spat it out. English candy. Per usual, I'm like, are we English? Are we not? Supposedly we are, but clearly. You rested on your chin. You shut your eyes once again. A sound. And then Paul comes back. I really hope that this is not I really hope that I didn't skip any choices that I could have made prior. I went straight into when George is at the crate. I'm pretty sure that's when the first choices happen, right? Right, guys? Your eyes flitted open. You sat up in your crate, ears perked up. You heard the unmistakable sound of English shouting and banging away outside. McCartney and his other flatmates must be arriving home. You perked up further. You heard footsteps running to your door, the familiar feminine gait. The door flew open. Hello, love.
Lord of my water! Damn, this is some scary shit!
He cheerily strode over, unlocking the crate's latch. I bet you're happy to see me. He blew a kiss and gave a wink. How was the crate, love? Do you like it? torn. Cause I'm like, what gets us to George the most? But then I'll just do yes I do. Cause why not? You know? Yes I do. You blush, nodding. Yes I do. Paul beamed. I knew it. He clapped his hands together happily. See, I made it just for you. Paul opened the door. He shifted somewhat uncomfortably as you climbed out of the crate. Though always the gentleman, Paul offered you a hand. Well, love, let's go downstairs. You blushed. It's been a week since I played this, so I'm like, am I giving the same voices? Probably not. Probably not, babes. Probably not. Eh? Paul winked. The lads and I got a chat for a bit, you know? And they've already got birds down there to sit on their knee and not talk. He winked. But I don't. And I've already spent my £10 of the day. You see what I'm getting at? He gave you a sultry look. You blushed. Your heart beating quickly. Was Paul asking you out? He held out his arm and you took it, blissfully excited. Maybe this is a Paul ending. Wait, I almost forgot. Ooh. Paul kissed you right on the mouth. I'm kind of rocking with it though. I'm kind of rocking with it though. Nah, not me kind of really feeling Paul though. Yikes. You thought your heart was gonna beat out of your chest. But he was unaffected, still smiling cheekily. You got to hold Paul's arm as you walked out of the room. It was nice stretching your legs after being in the crate for 7 hours. Walking into the common area, you once again caught an eye full of Paul's 3 friends. It was dark out now, though in November in Britain, it simply meant it was later than 4 p.m. Each of them had a voluptuous blonde on each of their knees, scotch and a coke already poured in full crystal glasses. You suddenly felt insecure, 6 eyes boring into you, their earlier conversation evidently unresolved. The broad one with the sharp nose spoke in his loud, grunty voice. Oi, Paul, you brought your gum tree, girl? That's really offensive. Don't call me the gum tree girl, for real. Before I start airing this out. The other 2 Beatles snickered. The girls also chimed in, the pretty tinkly laugh many girls had. You blushed, but this time due to the buxom blondes giving you attention and their boobies were shaking up and down while they were laughing. That's how literally so focused we are on the women in the game. I can't see them. That's one caveat. I'm the creator. I spoke to them. They're pretty cool. But why couldn't you have drawn these buxom blondes for me to look at? You know what I mean? I need some eye candy. Thank you very much. Right. However, Paul didn't seem to take the affront as lightly. Oi, John. Paul held your arm. She was worth each and every one of these £10. He looked at you. Dreamily, you nearly melted. Oh, he's nice to us now, though. Paul guided you to the couch, patting his knee. You sat down, hands bashfully folded in your lap. Paul's hand rested on your hip. You looked at the girls, they looked at you. The 3 of them looked similar, but were all attractive. You blushed. Right ho, lads? Yeah. Hey, lads, did you hear the news? News? News from the States. What's happened? President's dead. We got to this part. Think the Yanks killed him? The president? We had nothing to do with it. If anything, they'll go to war with themselves. Thought they did that already. Yeah, slavery, As I'm actively sitting on his lap. As a captor. I am a captor. Help, help, help me, help, help. Somebody help.
Back with another milk. Help! Help! Help me! Help!
We get to the section where John tried to freaking kiss us. Well, technically he did kiss us. And Paul got all crazy and mad and all that stuff. So we're going to get to the choice. I'm gonna say stop shouting. Let's see how neutral that is. Stop shouting! I swear to God, you two are the most insufferable, conceited, unhinged pieces of I ever met. The both of you. Good Lord. The thought that I would even consider either of you as a romantic partner. You must be deranged, stark raving mad. Paul, you bought me off Gumtree. You saw an ad in the paper and decided to buy a girl. You put me in a dog crate. In the short time I've had the misfortune of knowing you, you've proven every single one of my biases correct. Wait, am I eating this though? Am I eating this British accent though? Like, please.
Girl. This girl is delusional.
In every sense of the word, you are a fucking freak. I cannot believe you even exist. By gum, Maka. You put her in a... Shut up, shut up! You're no better than he is. Lennon McCartney this, Lennon McCartney that. It seems like you're a package deal. I've known you even less and you're no fucking better. I bet you'd put me in a dog crate too if you had the idea first. Barking mad, the both of you. You ran out of the kitchen sobbing. Away from those two bloody beetle brutes. You weren't looking where you were running, and as a result, ran right into solid 178 centimeter mass. Right. Yes! I just sat up straight just now. Ow. Oof. I'm sorry. Hello, Pee-Pee. His smile faded. What's wrong, love? You sniffed. Lennon McCartney, they're awful. They're in the kitchen bickering over me like toddlers with a toy. George scratched his gaunt cheek with the long finger. Right. If anybody described me like that, like Paris scratched her meaty finger with her, like, you know, her chubby cheek with her meaty finger scraping the skin as dead trickles down, like this. So anyways, so that's what the shouting's about. Well, it's always something with those two. Our girls have run away. You know how women are about loud noises. Are we like deer? What the fuck? Don't like them. You know? You weren't even listening. Still sniffling. You blinked. You felt a hand clasp against your arm. You're upset. How about we get out of here, love? Please. Yo, I'm tweaking, bro. I'm really tweaking. I'm so excited because I really thought that I was like, my plan was we're going to get George. We're going to get George. This is going to be the George one. And I was like, maybe because I was nice to Paul, maybe I might be getting Paul. But no. I'm with my man. Period. You blushed. What? You know? George gestured to the door. Leave the flat like. You're well flustered now. Really? You blushed. You'd let me outside? You bit your lip. By gum, yeah. Feel bad for you, being kept in a crate. Let out only for McCartney's mind games and unconstitutional torture. You looked down. Being English, you did not know what a constitution was. You had very little in terms of human rights. Besides the right to eat baked beans, walk in the rain, and ride upstairs on a bus. In England, the buses are red. Thank you. I needed that information. Thank you so much. In Liverpool, the buses are green. Paul, get out of here! There had never been democracy on this island, and unlike George Harrison, you had never been to the States. George was the first Beatle to visit America, having gone in September of 1963. Oh, so we chose a real one. He's well traveled. He's educated, he's sweet, he's nice. Period. Y'all can't relate for real. What? Your bias is Paul, my bias is George. I want to dance with George. Yeah. This is like a virus. Like, oh my god, this game really got me. I'm so serious. Like, that's actually crazy as hell. It has taken little convincing for me to be a stan. And the music is a nice little switch up. Like, yeah, period. He visited his sister Louise at 113. Damn. We don't need to know all his business, but thank you. Unlike John, he made it out alive, returning to the UK on October 3rd. Oh my god. You violated. In Benton, George performed with a local group, the Full Vests. They played their normal set during the first half of the show, then returned to the stage and introduced Georgie as the Elvis of England. George wore a dark suit, white shirt, and no tie. Some of the songs he played were Roll Over Beethoven, Classic George, Johnny Be Good, Matchbox, and You're Cheating Heart. The Full Vests were given a selection of Beatles records to two members of the Full Vests, Gabe McCarty, and he's the bass player too, and Vernon Mandrell. Thank you. Took George to the Fenton Music Store at South 10th Street, Mount Vernon, Illinois, where George bought a Fire Glow Red 1962 Rickenbacker 425 guitar.
That's the one.
George wanted the guitar to be refinished in black to match John's, so the store owner Lester Fenton reluctantly agreed. I don't know. I think the red looked cool, but I trust George's judgment. The guitar cost around $400. Reportedly, George had little idea of the value of U.S. money, so he brought. Damn, they gypped him. The Rickenbacker was first played to the public on 4th. Girl. Killing me, you killing me, you killing me. George McCartney went shopping in Harrison, bought the James Ray single, Got My Mind Set on You. I drove to Benton roughly 60 years later last September. I knew George came to America in 1963 but didn't know the specifics. Imagine my surprise at seeing a fucking massive billboard of my favorite boy in the middle of nowhere, on the side of the road in Illinois of all places. I wish I could have gone to the museum there. That's how you know the creator is a real fan. Real one, period. Shout out to you. George carefully reached for the front door. He gazed at you warily. But you promised not to bolt. I know you've got no reason to be indebted to me. We've only just met. But if Maka finds out I let you loose, he'd surely have me stuffed and mounted. George shivered, though his eyes so minimally changed with every expression. His shoulders were tense. It's not that I'm scared of Maka. Also, I also have learned since. I've learned so much. I've also learned since that McCartney. So I think that it's Maka. I think you say Maka. So I might be saying Maka. Maka. I'm like a chicken. It's just that he's so very unpredictable. He'll smile to your face, and later, much later, long after you've forgotten the conflict, you'll find a dead frog stick to your dead post. Oh my Lord mercy. Your eyebrows drew. Oh, Georgie. You threw your arms over his spiky body. Some of you girls like that. Some of y'all like that. That's your type. Spiky, sickly, dead-looking men. I understand. Of course, I wouldn't do anything to put you in hot water. I must say, even if I didn't care for your group at all, I've changed my mind. You're my favorite. Yeah, period. That's so true, though. George's eyebrows moved slightly, but you couldn't read his expression. He was a very funny-looking fellow. Oh, wait. I almost forgot. George went into the flats entryway and began looking through the coat rack. It's cold in England. He was right. It was late November. It was now dark out. George pulled out an overcoat and draped it over your shoulders. There you are, love. Oh my God. Yo, I'm actually like really like, yo, when am I gonna laugh because I'm falling in love? Wait, he's actually nice to us. Like I'm trying to like wait for the ball to drop. Like I'm waiting for him to be like, and I hope he's a playoff or something like like I'm waiting for him to be mean, but is he actually just sweet as hell? And that's my man. George is my man. I want to dance with George. I love him. That's my man. Y'all can't tell me nothing. And I've been said it from the start. I'm so real because I immediately attached to him first. Per usual, typical W for Paris. The coat was nice and warm, though the arms were a bit long. The fit wasn't too bad. Ta, George. He opened the door and you went downstairs. You gripped his bony wrists, laughing as you were free at last. Ooh! It was dark out and all the streetlights were on. There was a chill in the air with it being nearly December. You could see your condensed breath. George smiled, his teeth formidable. Come on, love. It's Friday night in London. Let's go paint the town. You had an utterly fab time together, with drink and merriment. You almost forgot the bizarre events of the day, all the horrors and confusion. You forgot you were bought. You forgot about your mother. You forgot about Lennon McCartney and their horrid egos. The broads with their heaving breasts. I'm still thinking about them. I didn't forget, actually. It's in my mind right now. All was gear. Yes! Let's go! George End. I got the George End, period. Since we got the George End, as it should be, I wish that it was just like the end, period. But I want to see the other, routes. What if we got John? What if we got Ringo? Can we get Ringo? I fuck with him, Peace and love, peace and love. So I'm going to play through again and see where we land on. We're going to get the true ending now. Because I can't bring myself to do John in the same video as Precious George. John will have to be done in a completely different video because that man is a menace to society. May he rest in peace. I don't mind being in a crate. I'm lying. You smiled at him awkwardly. I appreciate the concern, I really do. But I don't really mind the crate. George gave you a weird look. It's hurting me. I'm hurting. You're sure? I'm sure. We know it's not true, George. You're mine. You're mine. I start tweaking when it comes to romance games now. Clearly, that's why I never really played romance games before, and I'm gonna play romance games more often. Although I have one coming up very soon that is really not romance. It's morbid. I like to play interesting stuff. Okay, so that's what's gonna be happening here. But eventually I'll play some like real romance games, and I need you to know that I'm a tweaker. When it comes to love, when it comes to being on someone, I start losing it. I'm crazy. So that's just going to happen. You're going to have to get used to it, babes. Sorry. Well, suit yourself then. Good luck, love. I love you, George, please. Best not have Paul see me talking to you. He'll start breaking the mirrors. So if we're nice to Paul all the time, even when he's not there, that means that we'll get the true ending. You rested on your chin, blah, blah, blah. Hello, love. Control your bird macaw. The lads kept laughing at Paul's expense. Paul began getting irritated with you himself. He's gonna hit me. Come on, love, behave yourself. Don't frown. Don't admire the birds. You hung your head deeply ashamed. See, my boyfriend would never, Like, he appreciates me and all my quirks and all my gayness. Get a man who loves you, no matter the fact that you are gay.
You think that shit funny?
Wait! Wait!
I'm sorry, Paul. Paul softened, noticing you were genuinely apologetic. That's alright, love. You're still learning. Oh, I'm being trained. I'm like a dog. The others were sympathetic as well. After all, in the span of a day, you were bought and sold by the fabulous Beatles. Wait, can I go back? Look how, look at my baby. Oh my god, yo, I hate this. If you would have asked me a month ago anything about George from the Beatles, if you would have asked me a month ago anything about the Beatles, period, I would have had nothing to tell you. I would have been like, why are you asking me about the Beatles? First of all, I would have been like, I just know that John and Paul was jerking it together. That's all that I would have been able to give you. But now I'm like, George is my man. Like, what? Girl, what the hell's wrong with you? He's my man though. Look at that. He's kind of serving too. I hate the fact that I am also into Paul. But Ringo, I also looked up. There's no Ringo ending. Creator, what's that about? What's that about? What's all this about? Why is there no Ringo? I want to get a Ringo ending, please, 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 please. And we get John, Dirty John here. Paul laid a gentle hand on your shoulder. He smiled sweetly. Listen, we've got some really important things to discuss here. I'm sure you could use a break from all that. He kissed your cheek. I want to be with my man. That made me miss being with my man, bro. Oh my god. You felt as if you were about to melt. Paul had a slight smile looking between you and the others. Love, how about you and the other girls go to the kitchen to make us a lovely pot of tea? You nodded and slowly stood up from his lap. You followed the three other girls into the kitchen. You never knew how to speak to women, being not like other girls and all. You assumed they were speaking of makeup and sinful modern rock and roll music. That's all I talk about. You couldn't hear them as you covered your ears and faced the corner, refusing to be like them. But how are we going to be able to see their buxom breasts? I'm confused. Wait a sec. For the first time, you were out of sight of those naughty Beatles. No, we're going to have to stay. Stay put. You spent another hour in the corner until a gentle hand was laid on your shoulder, knocking you out of your deep contemplation. Hello, love. You turned around. It was Paul. Yay. That was such a fake-ass yay. I'm telling you. I'm conflicted, okay? It feels like those situations where you're reading a romance book and the main character is like really deplorable and you're not feeling him really and you're just like, why am I reading this in the first place? But we're supposed to be in love with him, and to some regard you're like, I mean, he's supposed to be hot. He's hot. He's supposed to be sexy. He's sexy. He's supposed to be the male love interest, and I'm heteronormative to some capacity, unfortunately. I'm falling into it. So I just can't help myself but to kind of smirk a little bit when Paul is nice to us, which is so evil. It is the heteronormative society that we live in. Me starting going on my soapbox, but for real though, like, why is it that this man who bought us got me giggling because he gave me a kiss on the cheek? What is wrong with us? And another thing, no. Feeling better? You blushed and bit your lip. You nodded. You nearly melted under his sensual gaze. All right. Yeah. Yeah, that is so sensual. Yeah. Let's get you to bed, eh? You sighed. Paul was such a romantic. That was romantic? Girl, the bar is in hell. Paul? Paul walked in after you. He had such a sweet looking face. Yes, love. You blushed. Well, as you destroyed my belongings, and I didn't get to bring any clothes. Yeah, love? What am I supposed to wear to bed? Not a word. I have just a thing. Paul bounded across the room like a rabbit ducking into his dresser. That's kind of cute. Oh my god, yo. What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? You stood up straighter, attempting to see, but you couldn't. Then he turned and held out a white nightgown. What the hell? Your hand went to your mouth. I hope it's like serving. It's not like the magical Mormon underwear. Respect to the Mormons, I guess. I don't know, child. I don't really care for institutions. But is it serving? Is it serving or is it giving Ghost of Christmas Past? Your hand went to your mouth. He tossed it to you and you scrambled to catch it. Do you like it? He winked. I've got one just like it. Oh, we're matching? Okay. Your head tilted. Paul giggled, narrowing his eyes. I like nightgowns. He gestured to his crotch. Freeing. I literally just envisioned the Eustace meme.
No!
Easy access. Yo. And I don't just mean for pissing. Yo! What are you talking about? You looked at him. Come on. Like, sir, that was not even the first thing I was thinking of. Are you gonna try it on? Right now? He winked. Why not? Okay then. He disrobed. You disrobed, girl. You disrobed, unzipping your dress, slipping out of your stockings. Paul smirked. Ooh, that's beyond a smirk. I don't suppose you sleep with your bra on? You looked down, confused. I'm not wearing a bra. It was Paul's turn to look confused. His eyebrows furrowed. He pointed at your chest. Then, what's that? You looked down. My breasts? Paul's eyes widened. By gum! So they are. You slipped on the nightgown. Oh, he was like, dang, you got them Bahanica whoos. Ooh.
And yes, I'm a munch. I'm a mega munch. I'm a mega munch maniac.
Oh! Paul whistled. Oh, baby. It looks nice. This is like an average conversation with me and my boyfriend. I wouldn't whistle if it didn't. You turned around, seeing yourself in a full-length mirror. You could see Paul's reflection within it and met his eyes. Paul's musician friends had all retired for the night, banging their selection of well-endowed broads. Oh, dear Lord. But you were alone with the man you were smitten for. He's serving here. Paul began his nighttime routine, which you watched with a silent reverence. Oh, he's a TikTok girly. My nighttime routine. That's how they talk. There's like a TikTok accent for real. My gosh. You sat on the floor looking up at him. Why couldn't we have sat in the bed? Paul was truly a beauty. Unfortunately, that's true. He's serving. I'm sorry. He's actually very attractive. You couldn't believe it. You couldn't believe you hadn't noticed it before. His face all over pop magazines and record shops. You'd turn your head away in protest. Getting into automobile accidents for what? He undressed so sensually. Right. Paul combed through his dark, soft hair, viewing himself in the vanity mirror. He sat with such grace, his very presence hypnotic. He spoke without turning his head. Maybe I should have prepared you better. I just sprung the common etiquette on you as we went. Though it ought to be common sense. I understand that you're not like the other birds. You shook your head. Most girls were blondes. I was not. Most girls are skinny with buxom boobs, and I'm just so small, and my boobies are a little bit bigger than them, and I cover them with my hands over them like a little bird. However, you are not blonde. Many girls could not read, but you could often string together sentences, given you sounded them out beforehand. However, there was one thing, and only one thing, that made you like the other girls. You were in love. In love with a man. There was no other like him. Paul sighed. By gum. His head tilted so elegantly as he did so. Your body heated. the beginnings of lust. His head turned to you, even he stood coming closer. Your body tensed, craving his touch. What made you so upset today? I've tried my best to make you at home here. I'd do anything to give you that. He blushed. You could just about feel his breath. He was so close. You wanted to reach out and touch. No, grab him. Grab him like he was a woman. And show him you are a man. Wait, they ate that though. They ate that though. They ate that though. Oh, McCartney. You quivered. Someone like you. You bring the beast out of me. Unbelievable reading this. His hazel eyes softened. The beast. You gripped his face impassioned. Oh, Mackie. I simply cannot control myself any longer. I must have you. You went in for your kiss. But McCartney turned his head. You didn't make contact. Your chest sank. Unrequited passion? Ah, but love, it's me that has you. Or have you forgotten? Cool, he was right. You were of his possession, and therefore... Oh my god, why is this so disturbing? His eyes were dark when meeting yours, and he consumed our soul, and we were nothing but a vessel. Sensual hazel doe-like but very dark. I will have you. He captured your mouth in a fiery embrace. Hands groped at your female body. You groped at his sensual curves. right, because he thick. McCartney moaned. Obscenely. Or how does that sound? Oh! The fury of your mutual passion was unparalleled. The room shook with your oh, damn! The room shook with your copulation. Pictures falling off the walls. Oh, dang, we like vampires or something. The very foundation of 57 Green Street being violated. McCartney cried out like a cat in heat. Which he very much was. His body was supple with the virility of youth, and he went for multiple rounds and edges too. Oh my lord. Right. You put your mouth over every inch of his skin. He tasted... First of all, the color is giving close to brunette. I mean, close to... Shut the hell up, girl. You know what I mean? Me telling myself to shut the fuck up. I was gonna say the color is close to blonde. Why is... Let me not even. He tasted just like Mercy, and he was just as wet. Girl, I don't even know. I don't even know what this means. I'm sorry. The Sainsbury closed at 11, but you went all night long. True end. Yes, we made it. What an interesting, captivating image that is. So blessed. Blessed and highly favored. Well, we got the superior ending, which was George, and we got the true ending, which was Paul, but not violent sex with the watchful eye of John. That's it for now. Next video is gonna be something else, but I will play John's ending because I am so curious. I am so goddamn curious what the hell, like how could we possibly do that, man? Need to know. In the words of Doja Cat. Next game will be something else though. I'm really excited to play it. And that's it for now. Deuces.